Assalamualaikum, my name is Nuri Syafiqah binti Bunuh Hajar, and today I will be presenting the introduction and background of AirAsia, as well as how the company was affected during the COVID-19 pandemic. AirAsia is a well-known low-cost airline in Malaysia, founded in 2001 by Tony Fernandez. The company operates both domestic and international flights across Asia. AirAsia is popular because it makes air travel more affordable, allowing more people to fly, including those from lower income groups. Also, contribute to tourist and economic growth in the region. AirAsia use a low-cost business model to stay competitive. This means they reduce unnecessary costs and focus on efficiency. For example, customers need to pay extra for service like food and seat selection. This strategy helps keep ticket price low and attracts more passengers. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the airline industry faced a major crisis. Many countries closed their borders and restricted travel. As a result, the number of passengers dropped significantly. AirAsia had to cancel many flights and reduce its operations. Because of this situation, AirAsia experienced a large loss in revenue. However, the company still needed to pay high fixed costs such as aircraft maintenance, airport fees, and staff salaries. This created serious financial pressure, not only for AirAsia but for airlines worldwide. To survive the crisis, AirAsia looked several cost-cutting measures. This included reducing salary, offering unpaid leave, and laying off employees. These decisions were difficult. They were necessary to ensure the company could continue operating. At the same time, AirAsia explored new ways to generate income. The company expanded into digital service through its super app. It also focused on logistics and cargo service, which increased during the pandemic. These strategies helped AirAsia adapt and become more resilient. In conclusion, AirAsia faced significant challenges during COVID-19, but took strategic action to survive and adapt to the changing environment. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to present and explain about our case background focusing on efficiency versus employee well-being. Okay, so in this case, the main issue is that the business survival became the priority during the COVID. The company was under a lot of financial pressure during that time, so they focused on cutting their operation costs. Because of that, employee was seen as a cost, which is why we see there's a layoff, unpaid leave, and salary cut. Now, in terms of ethical concern, there is a clear conflict between profit and welfare. Basically, the company had to choose between protecting the business or taking care of their employee. And at the same time, there are also an issue with the fairness because not everyone in the company was affected equally. If we look at the reason behind this decision, it mainly comes from their low-cost strategy. The company already focused a lot on efficiency and cost control. So during the crisis, this became even more important. Plus, with COVID-19, the pandemic pressure, they had to act and plan quickly to reduce their operating costs and losses. And the most important thing, because of this, the impact on employees is quite serious for the company. There is a job insecurity about the staff, people worrying about losing their jobs, then financial difficulties due to reduce in income, and also emotional stress like anxiety and low morale. And finally, to link this presentation to topic 8, we can see that former system dominate, meaning decisions are based on company efficiency. There is also impersonality, where employees are treated more like numbers, and overall, the organization is prioritized over the individual. And that's all from me. Thank you.
I will be presenting the ethical issue related to AirAsia mass layoff during COVID-19 pandemic. First is the issue of duty of care. Companies have responsibilities to protect the well-being of their employees, especially during crisis. In this case, it is unclear whether AirAsia fully exploit alternatives such as salary reduction, unpaid leave, or redeployment before deciding on layoff. As a result, many employees were left vulnerable during an already difficult time. Second is fairness and transparency. Employees should be clearly informed about why layoffs are happening and whether the process is fair. A lack of clear communication can lead to distrust, lower morale, and damage to the company's reputation. Third is competing obligation. ASEAN needed to balance its responsibilities to shareholders who expect financial stability with its responsibility to employees and society. However, the layoff suggests that financial concerns were prioritized over the job security. Finally, there is conflict between rational and ethical decision making. While layoff may be economically logical, they can still have a serious negative impacts on employees' life. Overall, this case highlights the challenge of balancing business survival with ethical responsibility. Next, I will discuss the stakeholder analysis. The most affected group is employees. Those who lost their job face financial difficulties, emotional stress, and challenges in finding new employment during the pandemic. Even employees who remain experience anxiety and uncertainty about their job security. Customers are also affected. With fewer employees, there may be reduced service quality, fewer flight options, and possibly operational disruption. In addition, negative public perception of the company action may reduce customer trust and loyalty. For management and shareholder, the layoff help reduce costs and improve short-term financial stability. However, this decision also carries reputational risk, which may affect long-term profitability and investor confidence. Lastly, the government and society are impacted. Mass layoff increase unemployment and put pressure on government support system. During a national crisis, companies are expected to contribute to economic and social stability. In conclusion, the decision affected multiple stakeholders in different ways, highlighting the importance of ethical decision making in business.
Hi, my name is Jiva Prakash, MC2409300249. Today I will be going over the ethics behind the AirAsia mass layoffs during the COVID-19 period. I'll be going over two main points, which is the employees' obligation to the firm and also the firm's duties to the employees. So when we talk about employment, we often think of it as a contract. I work and you pay me. But ethically, it is a two-way relationship built on loyalty, competence, and honesty. During the COVID-19 pandemic, AirAsia faced a total collapse in the travel demand. From the ethical standpoint, the employees who stayed had a duty to help the firm survive. Many showed incredible loyalty by accepting massive pay cuts and moving into entirely new roles altogether. Even in the uncertainty of the pandemic, they were expected to remain diligent and professional, proving that an employee's duty doesn't just disappear when things get tough. However, in AirAsia's case, also shows that loyalty has its limits. When layoffs were announced suddenly via email, sometimes almost with no warning, trust began to break in the company. Employees have an obligation to be honest and committed, but their duty is reciprocal. If a worker feels that their well-being is ignored, their sense of duty naturally fades. Ultimately, the employees should do their part, but they shouldn't have to sacrifice their own ethics or dignity if the firm isn't holding its end of the bargain. Moving on to the next part, we will discuss the firm's duties to its employees. What does a firm owe its people? An ethical organization must treat its staff with fairness and respect, especially during a crisis. First, there is the duty of fair compensation. While AirAsia cuts salaries to stay afloat, sometimes up to 75%, an ethical question is whether that hardship was fairly shared. If the burden falls mostly on the lower level staff, while the top remains protected, the firm is actually failing its duty. Second, firms have a duty to protect the well-being of their workers. At AirAsia, some layoffs were announced only within 24 hours notice. This creates a massive psychological stress and shows a lack of concern for the person behind the employee ID. And finally, there is the duty of transparency. AirAsia was never always clear about how they chose who to let go, leading to feelings of bias and unfairness. To protect human dignity, a firm must be open about its decisions. While cost-cutting might be a business necessity, it should never be an excuse to abandon empathy. In short, a business survival is important, but it should not come at the cost of the company's integrity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Alvin Nam and I am from Group 3. Today I will be presenting on AirAsia Berhad as a rational organization. AirAsia Berhad exemplified a rational organization by emphasizing efficiency, formal rules, structured decision-making, and the use of technology, making it a strong example of well-organized and efficient low-cost carrier. The reasons supporting this view are: number one, standardized system. AirAsia utilizes online booking, fixed pricing, and self-check-in to ensure consistency and fairness. Number two, clear structure. AirAsia maintains well-defined role and strong hierarchical system for effective coordination and crew alignment. Number three, cost efficiency. AirAsia adopt a no-flight model, maximize aircraft utilization and reduce operating costs to provide affordable fare. Number four, the use of technology. AirAsia leverage digital platform and data analytics to enhance efficiency and minimize error. Thank you. Proposed ethical strategy. To address the ethical issue identified, AirAsia Berhad can adopt the following strategy to ensure both ethical responsibility and business sustainability. Number one, alternative to layoff. AirAsia should consider options like temporarily pay cut, unpaid leave, shorter working hour, or redeployment before layoff. Ethical. This reflects the company duty of care by minimizing harm to employee. Effectiveness. It helps retain skilled workers and lower future training costs when the business recovers. Number two, ensure transparency and fairness in decision making. AirAsia should clearly communicate the reason for decision, selection criteria, and future plan to employee. Ethical. This promotes fairness and respect, ensuring employees are treated equally. Effectiveness. Transparency builds trust and reduces employee uncertainty. Number three, provide employee support. AirAsia provides severance pay, job placement assistance, career advice, and mental health support. Ethical. This shows ethical responsibility and care for employee well-being. Effectiveness. It helps employee transition and protect the company reputation. Number four, stakeholder engagement. Consult employee, unions, government, and investor before making major decisions. Ethical. It considers the interests of all affected parties. Effectiveness. It reduces conflicts and improves decision quality. Number five, ethical leadership. Balance cost saving with employee welfare in decision making. Ethical. It respects human dignity and organizational obligation. Effectiveness. It builds long-term trust and global brand reputation.
Hello, my name is Mazani bin Yazid. My matric number is MC2409294448. Today I will be presenting the conclusion for the AirAsia case study on ethical issues during the COVID-19 pandemic. So during the pandemic, global travel bans caused a significant drop in passengers numbers, which led to major financial losses for AirAsia. At the same time, the company still had to bear high fixed costs such as aircraft maintenance, airport charges, and staff salaries. To survive, AirAsia implemented several cost-cutting measures, including salary reduction, unpaid leave, and employee layoff. While this action helped reduce expenses, they also created serious ethical concerns. Many employees faced job loss and financial difficulties, especially during an already challenging period. In addition, the lack of clear communication about the layoff process caused confusion and uncertainty among workers. So this situation highlights a conflict between business survival and employee welfare. On other hands, the company needed to protect its financial position and satisfy shareholders. On other hands, it had responsibility to take care of its employee. In conclusion, this case shows that companies must balance operational efficiency with ethical responsibility, making decisions that are not only effective but also fair and compassionate. It's important to maintain trust and achieve long-term success. So that's all from me. Thank you.